Now I have my headphones in. My life is together a small amount, and I feel good about today. Welcome everybody. Welcome.
Hi.
So this is that's Becca. She has Bega, which makes me I don't know how to say it because I'm white. I feel like I don't know.
That's exactly how you say it. You're
That's
doing
okay.
good.
And but yeah, and I'm Samantha Fairy Good Intentions. Welcome. This is real news with two bwitches. And you're like, what is a bwitch? And it's like, well, men call us bitches, men call us witches. Well, this is just the scarier version of that. Something that if men came across in a dark alleyway, they'd be concerned about. And that's what I want. Rebecca's been lifting weights.
Wow. Yeah,
She has been.
I have.
She's been working on her fitness. I'm her witness. Woo-wee!
Oh my God.
That was a good one.
That
So,
was. It
to,
was. It was. Oh goodness. I'm
okay,
so excited for
so
today.
welcome, Billy. Welcome, Bree. Welcome in, dear. So today I have three things on the table. I haven't even brought up like breaking news other than these things that we're going to talk about today. First things first, let's hop right in because I know everyone's real excited to go ahead and talk about Marjorie Taylor Greene. Marjorie Taylor Greene, if
Oh,
you guys
Marjorie.
don't know, she's in the House and she is from Georgia. She
Unfortunately, so
is
am I.
in a museum because she looks like I'm not going to do that. I'm a good person.
Stop. This is
Um,
not.
no,
No.
I am. I'm going to be a good person today. Bree,
Okay.
thank you for liking, Bree. Thank you. I'm going to be a good person today. And what I am going to say is Marjorie Taylor Greene is a horrible person.
Okay.
Okay. So and your guys like, oh, that's not like that's mean, or maybe that's not mean enough. Marjorie
For
Taylor
you.
Greene literally said Sandy Hook doesn't exist. Sandy Hook was made up. So a pew pewing in a school
Was not real.
of small children didn't happen,
Yeah.
apparently per Marjorie Taylor Greene. Marjorie Taylor Greene last week told a British reporter to go back to her own country because the British reporter was asking questions for the world news.
I remember that. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, Marjorie Taylor Greene,
Is kicking people.
she has kicked a protester,
A teenager, a
a
child.
teenage protester. Marjorie Taylor Greene has kicked a teenage protester. Now, this woman's a Christian. She is divorced. She has been known to shoot things from helicopters.
Great.
Did you know that?
I
Pew
didn't
pewing
know
things
that.
from helicopters. This is for educational purposes. This is a news network, everybody.
Whoa, hold on.
Allegedly.
I,
Allegedly a news network. This is allegedly a news network.
yeah, I don't.
It's real news with two witches. You know, men call us bitches and witches, but we're something worse and something they'd never want to find in an alleyway. So you know it's real news when we ain't putting up with men's shit. That's what I'm saying. This for educational purposes, allegedly.
Oh, God. There's so much happening already. We're like,
This has
what?
caffeine.
Great. I'm so glad.
Okay. So Marjorie, okay,
Yes.
because you know I'm not done. She's gotten in arguments on the floor with AOC.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
She's gotten on the floor. She's gotten on arguments on the floor with Jasmine Crockett.
Yes.
Literally, and I don't like Biden. I want to be very clear. Like, I'm a leftist. I did not want Biden in there. He's an old, creepy man. I'm cool on it.
Yeah.
But when he walked past her and she was like wearing a MAGA hat, and it was like, and then he went, like, I mean, this is how much people don't like you, Marjorie. And because she worships Donald Trump. Guys, she is literally one of the original MAGA, like she is the MAGA queen. Like
Yeah.
if somebody said, who is the MAGA queen? It would be Marjorie Taylor Greene. Guys, if you're liking this live, please just tap the screen, send it to your friends, send it to people you don't like, send it to conservatives, send it to everybody. If your mom is rude, send it to her. If your boss is a conservative, send it to him. We're here for you. All right. But Marge is the original MAGA. All right. And she's literally said, like, Donald Trump is America's savior. She's compared him to Jesus Christ. Okay.
The white one or the brown one?
Well, Marjorie don't believe that Jesus was brown. Can I tell you, I had a family member the other day tell me, I was like, Jesus is black.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, Jesus wasn't black. I mean, you would have thought she was possessed. This is a white woman. Jesus was a Jew. And I'm like, Jesus was. That's 100%. And this is all educational, historical stuff. And so I'm like, yes. I'm like, but like he was Middle Eastern. He had dark skin. And it's like YT people have a really hard time accepting Jesus was not white.
Yeah.
Jesus was not white. And I want everyone to just breathe it in, accept it. No one in the Bible was white. The Bible is made of brown people.
You just broke the internet. You broke the internet.
And something else that's wild. Those brown people that wrote the Bible.
Yeah.
They made it up. So, to me, brown people wrote the Bible, and they were like, who's going to believe this?
No. Listen, this is for entertainment purposes, not education. Whoever's in this live, listen.
I believe it, but I'm just saying.
I want to, if there are any Christians in this live right now, I want to apologize. I am a deconstructed Christian.
I am too, and I don't apologize. You're welcome to get into the truth.
Okay. I just think that maybe I look at the Bible as, I look at the Bible as not necessarily mysticism, but I look at it as a version.
Christian mythology?
Maybe a version of how people during that time saw the world. I don't see it as a historical document. It's like Jesus actually existed. Brown Jesus actually existed. So if brown Jesus actually existed, then there's some stuff in the Bible that had to have happened.
Right.
That's how I look at it.
Right. Okay. Well, and what I want to say is, just same way with Greek mythology, I'm sure some of it happened.
Okay.
I believe that the Bible is mythology, just the way Greek mythology, just the way Roman mythology, and any religious mythology that we have no proof of.
Okay.
And and when I say that, I'm not being rude. I'm being like, what proof do we have?
All right, let's go back to Marjorie Taylor Greene. let's go back to her. Talk about her.
Okay, so Marjorie Taylor Greene is the MAGA queen. Everybody, when I tell you this, if Donald Trump asked for her hand in marriage, she would consider it like her becoming the Queen of America. She is disgusting. And when I say that, I mean that for educational purposes.
I mean,
because she talks horrible about everyone. Okay. So, anyway, Marjorie, she kicked a protester. She told a reporter to go back to their country. She's literally living her best life. Guys, if you're in here, you like the live, please tap, tap, tap. We really appreciate it. Share with friends, share people you don't like.
Tap, tap.
The next one I want to talk about is Cory Booker. I want to talk about that. I know everybody's talking about that. Clap, clap, Cory Booker. He literally broke the record.
He did.
And he broke the record of someone who was protesting to not let people of color have rights.
Yes.
So not only did a man of color beat this record that is so important for America, He beat the record of a racist person trying to take away his rights. That is such a huge thing. He was standing up against an oligarchy. Donald Trump and his cabinet is an oligarchy.
Yes.
And I don't think people understand. An oligarchy is literally a group of strong individuals, financially strong individuals who run the country. We are not ran by the American people. And if you notice, Rebecca, once I really started to talk the truth, like it gone.
Yeah.
Numbers are gone.
Yeah.
And that's TikTok. That's like that. Like I'm.
Wow.
So that's what's funny to me. I know. Okay. Oh wow. I got all the way down there.
Hey, now. Get it, girl.
Hold on. If you're outside, come on in. I'm trying to share this damn thing, and we're having a good time. Oh, hey, Xavier, welcome, sweet little angel.
Hi,
Welcome
Xavier.
to our live. Welcome to being fabulous. We love you.
We do.
Um. Okay. So, everybody, welcome in. Tap the screen. Great. Cory Booker went through and he talked about people's American stories, and he went on for 25 hours.
It's crazy.
Cory Booker went on for 25 hours. So, Cory Booker is a senator from New Jersey. And something really cool about Cory Booker is Rebecca told me, were you the one that told me? Or no, you were the one that told me about Cory Booker's cousin, because I told somebody else. I don't like saying somebody's name online because I don't like it. And they were like, oh my God. But Cory Booker's cousin is who, Rebecca?
I don't remember.
RuPaul.
Oh, yes. That's right.
Cory Booker's
I
cousin is
forgot.
RuPaul. And in that moment, I realized that Cory Booker was an angel.
Mm-hmm.
Because RuPaul is not RuPaul. I'm going to talk about the dark side of RuPaul because I want you guys. Oh, yeah.
I love RuPaul. What?
No, RuPaul has a Scorpio in the top 3. They've literally been known for saying, like, don't talk to me unless the cameras are rolling.
What?
Yeah. Oh, they're shady.
Oh, I freaking love RuPaul.
Shady
though.
boots. Shady boots. Yeah,
Love
RuPaul's
them.
known for all that. And don't get me wrong, though. I have to sit there and think on it and be like, that's just diva behavior. And like if anybody can do it, a drag queen can do it. And that's what I'm gonna say.
That is true.
Drag queens can do things that no one else can do.
It's true. They're just so magical. Like
Drag queens are the most magical beings.
They really are.
And when people are, you know what cracks me up? Most like people are like, drag shows are not good for kids and families. And I'm like, I need you to know that 99% of the drag queens I know hate children and families. Like they don't want them around them. They go to restaurants where children aren't at. They don't want to hear the children screaming. They don't want any part of it. They are literally living gay culture away from children. Gay culture wants nothing to do with children. I'm going to tell the world that now. This is for educational purposes. A situation like literally has nothing to do with the family dynamic.
Yeah.
Because the family dynamic is crap. When we talk about the American family with 2.5 kids, zero point 0.5, I know it's literally like a statistic, but I'm always like, are you carrying around some baby legs somewhere? Like what's happening? But anyway, like, like that's my thought process. You know what I mean?
Oh, baby legs. All right.
But I don't know. Like it's 2.5 kids. And I'm like, where's the 0.5 child? I know it's
0.5 is the baby on the way.
Rebecca, say what you want. I don't understand straight culture.
I don't either. And I'm over here.
You're straight.
I know. Don't remind
I know
me.
it's an uncomfortable. I don't understand it. I have been out. I'm 37, and I've been out since I was 19 or 20. I lost count. That's how long it's been. When I think of like when I used to date like men, like it feels like a movie. Like it never happened. Like it feels like a film I saw a long time ago that was a really horrible film I wish I never saw in my life.
Well, unfortunately, I have to live in that film, so
I
yeah.
apologize. I don't know how to help you with that.
I hate everything. Anyways, continue. It's fine.
Okay. Wow. We literally we keep leaving poor Cory Booker. Cory Booker is a New Jersey senator. He literally protested, went on for 25 hours speaking, holding onto the floor. He had people come in and help him, by asking questions so he could sit and rest for a minute. He didn't get to use the bathroom for 25 hours. I don't think people realize that. He didn't
Oh,
get to
crazy.
use the restroom for 25
And
hours.
and he was drinking a lot, sir.
He was drinking a lot of water. I have a theory that he was wearing one of them things that you pee in when you're like in a big crowd and you can't go to the bathroom. I literally have that theory that he was wearing that. And if he did, good for him. He thought this out ahead of time. Like that's thinking this thing out. And that's what I would have done. And they would have been like, how is she lasting this long? How is she not going pee? And I would have been like, oh, I'm peeing. Did you notice I'm wearing a dress today? I got a diaper on. Nobody come near me. It smells of urine.
Oh my God. What? All right.
We got to do what we got to do to beat the orange man.
You are
We
not.
got to do what we got to do to beat the orange man.
But you are not Cory Booker standing for 25 hours with a bag connected to your body. Is that what you think?
I think, yeah, it was like, like if you ever hear those people that go to Times Square for New Year's Eve and you can't go to a bathroom because there's like millions of people. So they literally buy something, they pee in, and it goes into a thing in your leg. I don't know what it's called, but that's a real thing. And, also people wear diapers because, but I wouldn't want to wear a diaper because I think you would get an infection from being an adult wearing a diaper for that long that you don't change.
Yeah.
But, it is what it is. I think people are like, what is happening as they go in and out of this slide?
I'm literally just like agreeing. I'm just like, yeah, I don't know how we got here, but we're here.
But
yeah,
I'm proud. Okay. I am so proud of Cory Booker. I want to reiterate, this man beat the record of a man who was protesting to take away people of color rights. Say that correctly? Yes, and his name was Strom or Thorm or something. I don't care. I'm not saying his name. He's gross. He's gross. So we don't even need to know the man whose record he beat. We don't need to know.
Yeah.
Okay, because he was a racist. And that's for historical purposes. And it's not allegedly. He was. He was.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. He was. And if you know what, if you're just joining the live real quick, I'm just going to throw this out there. Marjorie Taylor Greene kicked a protester.
She did. Yeah.
She kicked a protester.
It was a child too.
Yeah. It was a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go on to something that is, people don't think it's important, but it is. Mm-hmm. So there is a country singer by the name of Morgan Wallen.
Okay.
Morgan Wallen was on SNL this past weekend. This is the first time he was on SNL because the previous time he was invited to SNL, he got uninvited because it was during COVID and he wasn't following COVID protocols. And this is educational and this is real news. He was uninvited because he was not following protocols. So he was invited the second time years later. They were like, let's give this idiot another chance. Mm-hmm. Okay. So they bring him on. He refuses to do a skit, throws a tantrum about it. Okay. I have not watched this SNL yet because I've been waiting for my niece to watch it with us. So I can't wait to watch it because apparently at the end, when everybody's hugging the guests and everybody's hugging each other, he just ran off stage.
Why?
Like a big old baby.
Why did they invite him back? I don't. Okay.
Well, I think, and people don't like to think that SNL tries to be middle ground, but they really, really do. They invite people on there. I'm like, gross. Why did SNL do that? Yeah. Now, they're not going to invite some right guy, but Morgan Wallen is as far right as they've invited in a pretty long time.
I mean,
because Morgan Whalen is a huge supporter of Donald Trump. He is a bigot. He is a racist.
That's great.
I wanted to read the Kenan Thompson. Kenan Thompson said, like, this isn't how we do it here. Like he said something along the lines of like how strange it was.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just because Kenan Thompson has been the longest running SNL cast member. He doesn't care.
Really? I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, he doesn't care to make anybody mad. He's like, what are you going to Kenan Thompson has deals with everybody, making money, doing everything. He has way more money than Morgan Whalen does. So he's probably over here like, why are you being weird?
Yeah.
And I mean, it goes back to though with SNL. SNL has always walked the line of being woke. Even in the 70s, they had Richard Pryor saying words that weren't being said on television. SNL, and when we look back on it now, it's like, ooh, but back then they were trying to get people up.
Yeah.
And they still do it now. Like they make fun of Trump, but people are like, oh, they make fun of Trump. It's like they make fun of Biden too, because Biden was too old to hold that office. We don't need boomers, and we don't need boomers and above in office anymore. They're going out. They're the dinosaurs. They're extinct. Let them go. Goodbye. Release.
Wow.
Release.
What is this? Cutting the strings? Like what?
Yeah, we're cutting release like balloons. You know, like in Lord of the Rings when they get on the ship and they float into the mist to let them go. If you are above the age of, you know what, Samantha? I'm going to behave. But what I am going to tell you is the government needs to be rearranged because the government's ageist.
Yeah, 100%.
It is elderly people running a country of young people. And that is half of America's problem.
Mm-hmm.
They don't see what we want.
Well, a lot of people believe, especially conservatives, a lot of them believe that like age automatically includes wisdom.
Yes.
So if you're young, you're not wise. You don't know anything. So, and I mean, you know, I will err on the side of like, yeah, because you're older, you've had more experiences. Mm-hmm. But if you have not grown from those experiences, then you have not grown wisdom. Because if you're young, you can still be very observant and have tons of wisdom, more than a lot of older people. So
yes, 100%. Like I think that is one of the biggest misconceptions is that because you're older, you have more wisdom than the youth. And you know what? In a lot of ways you may. I'm not going to take that away from you. You know what? I'm sure your pie is delicious. I'm sure you know how to soothe a baby. I'm sure you know how to get a stain out of something real great. I'm sure you know how to load a pew-pew. But I don't really care about your decisions on law. Half of you, you know, if you graduated college, you're an elitist and you never suffered. And then the other half went right into the workforce straight out of high school or never even finished high school. So we're dealing with boomers who are either elitists or people who they may be doing well, but they never went far in school. Because remember, there was this time where college wasn't for everybody. And if you went to college, it was because you had money. A lot of people went right out of high school into the workforce, and you could make money being a cook. You could make money being a janitor. You could make a livable wage doing a job that needs to be done. Now, the problem is boomers have been doing these jobs, whether it's elitist jobs or everyday blue collar jobs, and they think because they worked hard and they made what they made, we can do the same. What they don't realize is it's not the same playing field. Reagan changed it for us.
Yeah.
And that's the boomers' fault. Excuse me. Mm-hmm. Reagan was their Obama, and I want you to sit with that. So when I say that, I'm talking about their political landscape of the time. They believed Reagan was the savior.
Don't be mean to Obama, though. That's just
Millennials, we believed Obama was the savior. We
yes,
did.
he was. He really was.
And he did, and I love him. And don't get me wrong, like, and I'm so honest with Obama because Obama put kids in cages.
Yeah.
I there's a lot of things I like him about. I always state that I don't like to take it away from. It's unfair for me to talk as badly as I do and not mention what Obama did.
Yeah.
And that's part of me not being in a cult for educational purposes only. I'm not in a cult. MAGA is a cult because if you can say women deserve to over a sack of cells, but you're okay with children not being fed at school, you're sick in the head.
Yeah.
Like, I know that's rough. Like, I know I'm so harsh. But what are your thoughts, Rebecca?
I think that so I when George W. was around as president, call him W. I love W.
OW.
Oh,
So
W.
does Michelle Obama. She loves her some W.
I love W. He's so funny. I feel like that was when I was okay. I was okay with dealing with conservatives. However, once Trump became in office the first time, I don't even think it's conservatives that are. It's like they have the right wing and then they have the Trumpies, and like the right wing's like, well, I guess we got to be a part of the Trumpies because Trump is there.
Mm-hmm.
But don't, because I know a lot of people who cannot stand Trump, but they still vote for him because he's a conservative.
He was the option, and they weren't going to vote for a woman of color.
Yes. And so I think that it's very interesting that, like, I'm not saying that it is a cult, because I would dare to say too that even on the left side, there are a lot of people that, like, they put the label left on it and they just go with it. They don't care. They just go with it. However, the extremism on the right definitely pushes the needle farther for what we say is considered a cult. Like when they started carrying around little bottles of man juice when JD Vance and him were running, I was like, okay.
Can I tell you?
Okay.
So there have been. Okay. So let's separate it all out because Rebecca, you just brought up something that's so important.
Mm-hmm.
There are three parts of the Donald Trump movement. There is actually, and there's books and there's studies, there is a cult of Donald Trump, and that is QAnon.
Yes.
Okay. So that is the cult. So when we say MAGA is the cult, we're being general because not everyone who supports Donald Trump is part of Donald Trump's cult.
Yeah.
And so while we're talking about this, I do, and I'm being very serious, this is for educational purposes. Rebecca and I, the things that we talk about, unless we are joking, we say allegedly, whatever, we're being really serious.
Mm-hmm.
So when I talk about QAnon being a cult, they really, you can look this stuff up. There's been studies done where these people, they will not believe anyone but Donald Trump. And recently, I had somebody go over with me and show me this video of this woman who was in a cult. And she said that coming out of a cult, you got to be really careful with how you talk to people. And that is always something that you do have to be careful with because they're not going to listen to you. They literally have been told people are going to come to you and tell you I'm wrong, but I'm not.
Yeah.
And that's why people listen to like Jeff Warren. What isn't his name? Jeff Warren. Like it's part of it's the cult of like the Mormon cult. Mm-hmm. And all these things because he's literally said like they're going to tell you I'm wrong, and that's the evil speaking, right? But that's what Donald Trump does. Thank you, Am. Thank you, Xavier, for all the likes. I appreciate you. I
You're the
thank
best.
you so much. Um, but they talk about that, and when you that's why, and I was talking, it was Anne actually who told me about the cult stuff, and we were talking about it, and it's always something I knew, and she said it, and I was like, good, I'm doing it correctly. And I don't mean that like, oh, I'm arrogant. When I make videos, and I want you guys to pay attention to my videos, I literally talk about comparison. So I made a video about children not being fed, and I said, how can you not care about children not being fed, but you care about cells in the womb?
Yeah.
And that is, you have to do comparisons like that. You can't bring up who the cult leader's name is. You can't bring any that, none of that matters. You have to bring up actual real life things.
Mm-hmm.
Because something that MAGA really tries to stand with is Christian nationalism. And with Christian nationalism, you can't stand by Jesus Christ and say you care about children and other people, and then be okay with children not being fed. Be okay with people being snatched from their homes in the middle of the night. Be okay with people on visas being scared to leave their houses, even though they're completely legal here in America. You can't be okay with women passing away because they're not getting health care, and be a follower of brown Jesus. It doesn't work that way. That is Christian nationalism. And I've literally heard people say, well, Christian nationalism is what America needs. And I'm like, then you don't even know what it is.
Yeah.
Sorry, Rebecca. I've been really tangenting this morning,
It's okay.
and I want to apologize.
It's okay. I agree, though. I think, there's levels to the Trump just bubble, which is what I would call it, because there's so many levels to it, that there are the extremists. There are people that would literally die for Trump that he could give two rats patooties about. And then there are people who are just like, well, he's right wing, so I'm going to vote for him. I don't agree with anything he says. Nothing.
Yeah.
But I'll vote. And then there are the people in the middle that are like, Christian nationalism is the way to be. That's what the country needs.
Yeah.
And, that's Christian nationalism is very cultish in its own right. But when you include the politics of it, of like, it's basically whatever the man says, right? Like, because God, according to Christians, God is sovereign, and God is a he, not a they, not a she, is a he.
Yeah.
So that we follow what he says.
And it's so funny because I love that. I love when Christian nationalism gives God a gender, because and oh my God, gender is so important to conservatives.
Yes.
Gender is so wild. It's like, I'm a man. Men have penises. Like, I mean, they get wild over it. And I'm like, I literally have never been so concerned about what's in my pants, what's in somebody's pants, other than if I shit in them. I'm only worried about what's in somebody's pants if I smell an odor.
Okay.
Does that mean like I'm like, did they shit in their pants? So like that's the only time I'm like, that person probably shit. And I don't care if there's a peen or a vag in there. I don't care. Go clean your butt.
Wow.
Okay, so when conservatives are constantly concerned, I'm like, you're a creep.
The way this show works is very interesting, because when you are trying to make a point on something, I think I know where you're going, and then you just make a left turn. You just go way over there, and I'm just like, I guess that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
You are right.
Yeah, just a different perspective.
It is a very different perspective, talking about people shitting their
different
pants.
perspective.
Yeah.
Well, no, because seriously, like Rebecca, like if you're out somewhere, you're not thinking, oh, I wonder what's in their pants. I wonder what's in their pants. I wonder what's in their pants. Like, you're not thinking that. But if you're walking through a crowded area and you smell shit, you're wondering who shit in their pants. Am I lying?
I don't think about other people shitting their pants.
No, because you want to get away from them because they could keep shitting in their pants. You're like, I'm getting away from that smelly ass.
Where are you going? I want to know where you're going when you're having these type of situations, because I've never had that situation happen to me. That's never been.
I live in Kentucky, and there's the lore that is here of literally every kind of Trump supporter lives here in Kentucky. Every single kind. The kind that have mother, sister, cousin wives, the kind that we're pretty sure don't bathe appropriately, the kinds that have tribal tattoos, the kinds that are girls are pretty, put your makeup on, like just all kinds, you know what I mean? And they're here. So the smells are here. And that's the only time I stay concerned.
That is an experience that I have never dealt with, but
I live in a world I live in northern Kentucky, and I literally, like, it is so YT. I get concerned for people of color. What's to say? Good point, though. That is the only time where it's normal to wonder what is in people's hands. They can't.
She's right.
All other times it's weird. That's it. No shit. I've been really thinking about that. Like, when's it appropriate? And the only time is if somebody's shitting their pants, I'm getting away from them. I'm like, oh, spotted. I'm getting the fuck out. I don't care what's in the front. I care what's in the back. Wash it. And it's probably a man that shit his pants.
Let's move on.
I just heard AM laughing. But that's the truth. Is that's the only time I worry about it. And so we can't really, like, go any deeper because TikTok does not like us talking about that, because TikTok is now under, I believe, Meta authority, but I'm not, I'm going to be very careful. Moving on. So Attorney General Pam Bondi, this woman is a moron, mistake that, directs prosecutors to seek the D penalty for Luigi Mangione.
I feel like 2 or 3 lives ago, we were talking about how awesome his shoes were. I'm so confused. I think the reason why the right is so concerned about everything that Trump is doing right now is, like, they want to keep us in a state of fear. And because that's how they ran the country for decades, more than that, maybe.
Yeah, people don't realize how bad our government really is.
And I think that they believe, like, this particular situation, they believe that if he is given that penalty, it would make other people fearful of trying to do something. Now, I do not condone unaliving at all.
No.
But the context of the situation makes people think, oh, people are not untouchable.
Well, let's talk about what he did, okay? And let's, play that out right a little bit. So Luigi Mangione unalived Brian Thompson. Brian Thompson was the CEO of United Healthcare.
Yep.
Okay, so I want to, and this is not a popular opinion, what I'm about to say. Should you ever unalive someone? Ever? No. I know I talk real crazy, but I believe in, you can talk as crazy as you want. You keep your hands to yourself. You never serve violence. I don't even eat meat. You never serve violence. Okay, I just don't believe in it. But when we talk about the universe, Brian Thompson unalived millions of people indirectly.
Millions.
Do you think he didn't know all the policies that were hurting people? You think he didn't know that he was profiting off of lives?
Yeah.
Now, this is very much when the billionaires exploded in the unit in the ocean, where people were like, okay, because everyday people die unalive, DYE all the time. and nobody talks about it.
Mm-hmm.
But when billionaires decide to waste their money because people are starving around the world, they want to make worldwide news. I don't care.
Right.
And that can be as awful as you want it to be. I care about the teenager one of the billionaires dragged on that didn't want to go. I care about that because that's something a billionaire would do.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, you can't count, like when I say this, we have to look at the crime compared to what happened. And I don't believe that a D sentence is the way to go.
Right.
Do I think he should run free? No. No. If you can open hand kill, if you can just go out and unalive someone and be okay with it, you don't need to be out in public. But I believe there's a lot more here that we don't know. And I think as the court case unfolds, we're going to know a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
I think there is because why would he do this? Luigi, like, he went to college. He's a very smart man. Like, there's nothing. And that's what's so weird about this. Why did this happen? And the fact that it was a CEO. And after this, CEOs were hiding their pictures. Still, if you go to some pages, you won't find a CEO's picture to know what they look like because they're scared now. But why are you scared?
What'd you do?
What have you been doing?
Mm-hmm.
That's my piece. So there is a whole moral piece here people are missing, to where it's like, okay, take Luigi out of it. Okay. I know that's hard to do because what the situation is. Why are CEOs so scared? What did Brian do to millions of people? And what are CEOs like Chase CEO, pharmaceutical CEOs? Why are they hiding now?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the moral piece people don't want to see.
Yeah.
They just want to think Luigi's wrong. Was he wrong? Yes. But everybody else is wrong too. Kicker.
Mm-hmm.
That's the kicker. No one's right. That's it. Because it wrote here, this is what Pam Bondi said. Mangione's M of Brian Thompson, an innocent man and father of 2 young children, was a premeditated, cold-blooded assassin that shocked America. I'm being careful with my words, guys, because TikTok's very weird. So if you have any questions about my words, you can type them and I'll try my best. If you guys are in here, thank you for liking the live. Please continue. Please share with your friends or share with people you hate. I don't care. Just share it.
Oh my God.
And she wrote, "Make America Safe Again." Pam Bondi. Pam, okay, I'm going to pause. Rebecca, do you mind if I send a message to Pam Bondi real quick?
Go right ahead.
Okay. Hey, Pammy. Hey, Pam. Oh, Pam. I realize, Pam, that you are living on another realm dimension in Trumpville. I get that. But the reason why good old Luigi did this was because CEOs are horrible people that abuse Americans. And while Luigi is not a good man, keep messing around. And he just needs to go to jail and let us do what we're going to do. Put him in jail. He doesn't need to be out in public. But how about you just keep your mouth shut? Thank you. Thank you, Pam. All right, Rebecca.
Wow.
I didn't say profanity. I was very kind to good old Pamela.
You were.
Oh, Pam.
Wow.
Make America safe again.
Okay. All right.
So
All
here's.
Oh.
I want to do a quick overview for anybody who's out there because it won't be long. We'll be getting off. Rebecca's got to go to the gym and get bulk. So I want everybody to know Rebecca's been lifting weights. She's going to eventually be my bodyguard for when we're millionaires and I run my mouth too much. I don't know if you guys know, I'm 4'11" and obese. So I'm going to need help because I have autoimmune diseases. I am also a fan of women and I don't like men. So I just feel like America is not a good place for me right now.
Oh my God.
Okay.
So much information was just let out. All right. Okay.
Real quick, Rebecca, I'm going to run through real quick. Okay. This is my mission.
Okay.
I'm going to do a highlight of what we talked about without going off on a tangent. Are we ready? Do you think I can do it?
Let's see how far we get.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Today is April 2nd. We talked about Marjorie Taylor Greene kicked a teenager. Okay. They were a protester. She kicked them. That is horrible. Last week, Marjorie Taylor Greene told what was it? A reporter to go back to their own country, even though she's there reporting on worldwide news.
Yeah.
Moving on to Morgan Whalen. Morgan Whalen was invited back to SNL, even though the first time they were invited to SNL, they were told they couldn't come because they weren't, going through COVID standards like they should. So they were revoked, and SNL was like, we can't have you here during COVID time. So they invited him back. He threw a tantrum, refused to do a skit. Mm-hmm. And actually, which Jonas? A Jonas brother came in and did the skit for him. Okay. Then when SNL was over, he ran off stage without hugging any of the people. And, that's a huge thing on SNL. They hug each other. Morgan Whalen is he's a little baby ball sack baby. So that's what we'll call him, little baby ball sack baby.
Okay.
Because
keep going. Tangent.
Okay. Sorry. Mm-hmm. Oh, I went to ramble. Cory Booker went on for 25-hour protest against that nasty old Trump. And he did phenomenal. He talked about American stories. He talked about everything Trump's done wrong. He talked about what we can do better. He did an amazing job. And he beat the record of an old racist man trying to take rights away from people of color. That was in Cory Booker. Senator from New Jersey, cousin to RuPaul, loved Cory Booker. Moving on, we talked about Luigi Mangione and the fact that old Pam Bondi's trying to get him the D sentence. Even though Pam Bondi has no idea what's going on in the world. She is a moron.
All right, tangent.
I just like this. My hair looks really great today, and that's the end. Okay.
You do. You look lovely today.
Thank you. So do you. You're swept. You know what I mean? You're swept.
Swept.
But okay, on that note, Rebecca, what are your finishing words? What would you like to tell us?
Today is the second day of April, and
Yes.
I want everyone who has had a really not great March to have a good April.
Yes.
We are now one more month closer to Trump being gone. We're into another month, so that's always a plus. And I want everyone in this live to go do something nice for someone today.
Yeah, be kind.
Yeah, be kind to somebody.
We have 1,389 days left of Trump's presidency. And, but you know what? If you have a home, you have food in your stomach, and it's nice there, and you have people who care about you, we're going to make it. We're going to make it. And if you take SSRIs and you've got to go gardening, you do what you got to do, because we live in the world of Trump. Rebecca's been working out, and that's what she's been doing to get her life together.
Yep.
I've been over here just trying to get by, and I want you guys to know, if you're just trying to get by, that's okay too. It has been since January 20th, when Trump took office. Every day I wake up thinking, am I going to need a passport to get out of here?
Yeah, same.
Because as a LGBTQ person who is obese, I don't mind saying that. Mm-hmm. I am medically obese, even though I am beautiful and healthy. I love saying that, because it is what it is, right? Mm-hmm. But that in America is horrible. And that's my tangent. But at the end of the day, like Rebecca said, do something kind for somebody. My kind thing is I was nice to Pam Bondi.
That was nice to Pam Bondi? That was
all right.
Nope.
Oh, I'll do something kind for somebody who's actually worth it. How about that? I'm not being nice to a Republican. That's disgusting.
Oh my God.
That's like being nice to a man. All right. Bye-bye. I hate Donald Trump.